with Sheena Rayvon. So, you guys, let's first go ahead and clear the air. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The background, yes. So, we are doing it a little different. I'm very excited about this season of Safe Space. We're gonna dive into so many different things, you guys, and I'm so excited about it. So, as we dive into the different things, let's start with today's topic, okay? Today's topic, we're gonna talk about loving on ourselves, right? Choosing ourselves. Are you out here just strung out because you're tired, you're depleted, you continue to do the mundane things, you continue to put others before you continue to put someone else's mask on before your own? Well, that's what we're diving in today, you guys. We're going to talk about putting our own mask on. I mean, let's talk about it. So, even on the airplane, right? They talk about us putting our mask on first before we put our child's mask on that's next to us. Um, we have to save ourselves first, because if we're no good, no one else is good. So today we're really talking about what are some of the things that we could do to be able to save ourselves in different situations, in different seasons of our lives. What are the types of things that we can do to say, I choose you? So today, I chose me. And when I say that, I have chose to think on great things, on more positive things. I'm not choosing to think about situations that I am in that are currently happening. I'm not choosing to believe that that's how they will be. So, as you guys know, I started this podcast because I was on a self love journey. And when I thought about self love, I thought self love was, going out to eat with yourself, going on vacation, getting a pedicure, getting a manicure, getting a massage. And I ended up finding out, you guys, that it's really just not about those things. But one of the great things that it is that when you choose yourself, you're saying that I'm allowed to say the word no, and that it's a complete sentence, right? It's a period behind it. Before, I used to battle with that. When someone would ask me for something, or they would ask me to attend somewhere, and I would say, okay, knowing when I look at my schedule that I wasn't able to be there. I couldn't serve them where they needed me to serve them. So, yes, would I show up? Absolutely. But will I be my complete self when I show up? No. Because I wasn't able to be there for them because I wasn't being there for myself. I was tired because I was going from one event to the other, and I wanted to show up for others. And then I'll never forget it. It was like it was yesterday. I was sitting there and I was depleted. And I think I had an event and I invited, several people, and I started noticing people had to say no, right? And at first, of course, as human beings, we want to get in our feelings and we want to be like, oh, why are they saying no? Or it's my fault. Like, they must don't like me. No, I found out it's really not about you. Get over yourself. It's really not about you. So once I found that out, I was like, you know what? I too need to say no to some things that do not serve me. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm going to be dealing with in this season, that I find myself dealing with, that I'm only doing and saying yes to things that serve me, and things that may not serve me at that moment, in that season, at that time, I'll be saying no to. And it's okay, because it's nothing personal against the other person or from the person who's inviting me. But it's to say I can't do everything all the time. At times, I need to take a break. So one of the things that I've been doing, you guys, that I've been taking a break on is I allow myself to take naps now during the day. It's not just because the weather that's out there, but my job is pretty strenuous, it takes a lot out of me. And a lot of times people feel like because you're not out, I guess you can say, working out in the hot sun, that nothing is being depleted from you. But let me tell you, these brain cells, when I have to use them a lot, it's definitely being depleted, okay? So mentally is where I get drained. So one of the things that I do now is I read a book, I listen to a good podcast so I can pour back into myself. So one of the things that I feel like we should definitely do is pour back into ourselves. If you're not like an open book reader like I am, the best thing you could do is just go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to do a podcast or I do an audiobook. Audiobooks and podcasts is one of the ways that I pour back into myself. I'm interested in hearing, as we have comments listed below, for you to tell me what are some things that you're doing to pour back into yourself. Another thing that is making me very happy these days is to hang out with my grandkids. I know. She got grandkids? Yeah, she got three. Yeah, so I have three beautiful grandkids, and I love being a grandma. You know, everybody always asks me, what do they call you? Well, they don't call me Nana, they call me Grandma, okay? Even though she looking like a whole grandma out here, but it's all good. But that's one of the things that I like to do. So lately I've been hanging out with them at Disney World, um, theme parks, and just doing different things. So it's one of the things I do. So what is it that you love to do that you may not do anymore? Or let's just think about this. Let's put yourself back into when you were a kid, okay? You're inner child, you were a kid, and it was something that you loved to do. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go first, okay? The thing I loved to do when I was a kid was ride a bike, okay? Riding a bicycle was so rewarding for me, and I got back on my bicycle and went back in my childlike state back in 2020 when COVID came and we were not able to go into the gym. And so I would ride my bike about 15 miles a day. And I lost a lot of weight doing it, but I was not trying to. I just enjoyed riding my bike. I love breathing in the air. It was just nice, right? And then one day I was riding my bike, and I don't want to tell the whole story, but anyways, I ended up getting hit by a car. A Mustang who was not paying attention didn't see me and hit me and knocked me off my bike. Totaled my bike, but I am still alive, and I only had like a little nick on my leg, but I still, to this day have back issues from it. But I say that to say this. At one time, I was scared to get back on the bike, right? Because we will draw away when fearful things have happened to us or any type of trauma. And so I said, you know what? So what I started with was a stationary bike. And then one day I got back on the bike. The only reason why I don't ride the bike right now is because Florida heat does not permit me to ride that bicycle. And again, I have to say no to certain things, and ride a bicycle in this weather is one of them. So yeah, so that's the things that I love to do, you guys. And I would love to hear, what are the type of childlike things that you may want to get back to that you used to love to do and you didn't want to do? Oh, now that I think of it, one more thing. Another thing that I love to do, and I am currently doing now, and this weather permits it forever, is the pool. I love hanging out in the pool, you guys. I love the water. I love being by the water. I love getting in the water. I love everything about the water. So that's one of the things that I like to do also. So I would love to hear more about what is it that you're doing, and what are the things that you're doing to protect your peace, right? Because we know that this is safe space, and this is a safe space to talk about protecting your peace. I would love to hear more information and things that you guys are doing to be able to protect your peace, because we all need advice on that, and we all need to protect our peace by any means necessary. The way that the climate and the state, shall I say, the state of the climate is now, no matter where, what side of the, of it that you're on, right? I'm really Switzerland, because at the end of the day, it can always be worse. But I do believe that we always need to protect our peace, however that looks. So today we're not going to have a long interview, but I just want to get on here, show you guys the new background, show you guys that it will be changing up, and also just, reach out to you and just talk to you about peace and how we need to be choosing ourselves, and how that means saying no to certain things. So, like, share, and comment, and let me know what you thought about this episode. And don't forget to tell me what you're doing, okay, to choose you and also protect your peace. All right. Well, it was good seeing you guys again. Thank you again for coming to Safe Space with Sheena Rayvon.